Hopefully the GT big key is locked by an item in GT. And we're off. Just a bomb upgrade in Sank and a compass to Skullwoods in Link's house.
Yeah, nothing much there. Looks like everyone's going on different paths. We got Ecos heading to do a Houlihan setup. Runnerwatcher and Buane are gonna go to Uncle's Tunnel, and Yumes look like he's heading right for the Lumberjack Cave.
Uncle with a bomb upgrade.
And the crabs are dropping single bombs, so that at least gives them some early bombs when going through Kakariko. We got and we got the mushroom in the Uncle Tunnel chest.
I'm not sure what to make of that. That may mean that we need to do a fetch quest.
Early fetch quest. We also had potion on Lumberjack Cave, so, well, we probably won't be getting that one bottle for the entire game.
Well, the Aga hype is mostly dead now.
Still could need it to get to the Dark World, but we shall see. And also red rupees from the level 1 tree pull, so money not that hard to come by in this early race.
Think we're gonna look at an early Zora from Flake Flipper?
Maybe. I'm usually not a fan of fake flippering all that much. Mostly because I don't know how to re-fake flipper after going to Hobo.
You gotta do it on the very corner so that when you're jumping off, you do the screen transition right after you land in the water.
Mm-hmm. We just got a bomb upgrade and a piece of heart from the race game in the library, so won't be coming back for those. We got 300 rupees in the tavern.
And with that, Ecos is already above 500 rupees.
And there we have the power glove. It is, in fact, so bad.
And Baby's first shield.
Not much so far. Last night, the race I had, the items were coming in hot from Kakariko, and so far, other than the power glove, it's been all meh.
Just a heart container from the bottle salesman.
I'll always take an early heart. Get that early health.
Well, we got a small key to Turtle Rock, a small key to Ganon's Tower, and a map to Swamp Palace.
So yeah, I mean, Kakariko tonight has been not a lot at all. Just money and a power glove. So certainly, unless we find something in on the South Shore or in Escape or Eastern, like this is gonna be this is aiming to be a slow moving seed.
Very slow.
Finally gonna get some new routing as Yume looks like to be heading south.
Hopefully we find something that gives us some progression already, because so far the seed hasn't gone anywhere.
Nope. Although, interestingly, with that mushroom and with the amount of money they'd be getting and the power glove, like I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't normally do a fake flipper, but it's certainly the seed could be pointing them north to go check the mushroom at the witch hut and then go cash in with Zora.
True, but fake flipper isn't in the logic, so some of the runners might not want to do that.
Yeah, but with the power glove, you can get there. And what we have the lamp in the and when you drain the swamp.
Well, that's something good. Doesn't give us any progression, though.
The dark rooms will be in the logic.
Yeah, but they're all still blocked by something or other.
Mm-hmm. You may be making nice work with the bombs on the mini troll dorms. We got Runner Watcher heading into the back of Escape.
Hook shot.
Yes. We got the... So that could also mean Death Mountain. Once you put all that together, you can, with the power glove and the lamp, you can get up there, and with the hook shot, you can go check all the east side of Death Mountain.
Yeah, now we're getting somewhere.
And Buane also going to Houlihan, so most of our runners are pretty close to having the Zora money. We're also going to have Yume in Ice Rod Cave with... That was Silver Arrows! So once we have the bow, we're gonna have a very easy time with Silver Arrows for the whole race.
Oh, and Eco takes a death.
Ouch! Press F to pay respects. An interesting route choice here. Buane's going to be heading west to go check Agina's Cave. Meanwhile, Yume is going to go ahead and head over to Eastern in Sahasrah's closet. And just to map the Skullwoods and Agina's Cave.
So we'll know what's in Skullwoods, but that doesn't help us.
Nope. Looks like this time Green Pendant is in Pod. And just more money and arrows in Sahasrah's closet. it looks like Runner Watcher is using what the logic is giving him and gonna make that play to Death Mountain.
If this pays off, Runner Watcher is going to be very far ahead.
We shall certainly see. Alright, map to Eastern in Eastern.
So we will eventually be getting a map check.
Hopefully we'll be getting one here soon.
There's got to be one eventually.
GT Big Key in Eastern, so that we won't be having to search for that for the rest of the race. We got a small key in Spectacle Rock and more money inside Spectacle Rock. Hopefully, even with that death, Ecos remembers to go back to Ice Rock Cave, because he's the only one without silvers right now.
I'm sure it won't bother him, but I'm sure he'd prefer to have silvers.
Mm-hmm. So we got Runner Watcher in Paradox Cave. I know some people think this is the new hype cave. Hopefully we'll get some hype here with the 7 chests. We got another small key to Turtle Rock and a useless map to Hyrule Castle.
So far, not very much hype.
We got the Moon Pearl.
And the King of Samaria.
Someone go get Phantom Ryu.
It's gotta be Kane!
That's a good impression there. I like it. And the Desert Small Key and the Big Key chest in Eastern. So once they can get into Desert, that'll open up 2 more locations there. Ooh, and there's a big key on the floating island.
I'm sure that's going to cause our runners a bit of agony for a while, not knowing what big key that is.
Certainly, and get those resident sleeper strats in chat. Runner Watcher is taking the Walk of Shame, ironically with his name being Runner. But paying off with the hammer!
This TR dip is really paying off.
Yeah. He could actually go back up and check the two chests he could reach in Hera. And that officially would be our Dark World access, which would mean the Aghanim Dream is dead. And it looks very much like Runner Watcher is going to head up to Hera, so Death Mountain's certainly the play. But Ecos is not far behind him.
And Buane is on that Death Mountain play now, while Yume is still retracing the steps of the other runners.
Although now heading into Hyrule Castle, which we haven't seen anyone go in there yet. We got a map to Thieves Town in the bottom part of Hera. And an Agate Tower small key in Hera also. So once they get the cape or the Master Sword, they can check both chests and Agate Tower.
Well, Yume has a fighter's sword now.
Well, there's one of them.
So that paid off.
Certainly. Runnerwatcher going to be the first to head into Dark World. And going to make his way over to the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
I like to call it the Cave of Likely to.
Well, we got to start with a piece of heart. Another sword upgrade. The big key to ice. And the Titan's mitts.
10 out of 10.
That is certainly some hype right there.
That's 10 out of 10.
And we got the pod big key in Zelda's chest. Yume's going to set up a Death Warp. And it was Turtle Rock, and I didn't see what the other was. A Swamp and Turtle Rock are the 5-6 crystals. And it looked like Thieves Town and Mire are also crystal dungeons. And there's the Water Toes. Stumpy with the flippers.
So we're about to see a Zora check, most likely.
Certainly.
With that, we're probably going to see the mushroom deposited as well.
Yep, and we missed the Swamp House big key in the dark room in the sewers. Brian, we found your cane in the digging game. Please go to the Lost and Found there to pick it up. So while this was a slow seed, it's starting to develop here, really a little faster.
Buane checking where the 5-6 crystals are, but we already knew that.
Yep. Runnerwatcher taking Jeremiah the Bullfrog on a little bit of a tour of Thieves Town, getting a big heart in the bomb hut. And we got
And
the cape in the chest came. Man, if you want some items in this game, head to the Dark World. And the Hera small key in the sea hut. We got Ecos heading up into Hyrule Castle. Yume's finally making the play to Death Mountain, and Runnerwatcher and Buane gonna still stick in the Dark World. And just a big love on the bumper cave.
So we have a nice little bit of divergence.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see whose gambles pay off first.
Oh, Runner Watcher tried to take Jeremiah into Hyrule Castle, but he doesn't like being in there. He's gonna have to go turn him in before he can go in there. And it's... I would certainly imagine with that cape, Runner Watcher will probably check Aga Tower while he's in there.
Eco's picking up Fighter Sword.
Yep.
So now all 4 runners have the Fighter Sword, but Runner Watcher got his Fighter Sword in a different place.
Yeah, he got it in Hype Cave. Which is actually where I think Buane got his too, so...
Uh-huh.
And Jeremiah just gives a little bit of love for saving him from the Dark World. Interesting here, Runner Watcher is going to try using the powder glitch to get Magic Bat done. And execute successfully. But just a compass. We also have Buane checking the first 4 chests in the Thieves' Town. Eco's death warping to get to the Dark Room. Now, Ecos also has that Aga Tower key, so we'll see if he decides to go up. Oh, he doesn't have the cape though. He won't be able to go up and check Aga Tower yet. And just money in Thieves' Town for the most part. Those thieves living up to their names.
Good to know that there was nothing in Thieves' Town so far.
So far, but it is a crystal. They're gonna have to complete it at some point. So you have to imagine something's got to be up here, either here or Skullwoods, because we're starting to run out of locations where some progression items can be. And we got the mirror on the Zora ledge. So that would certainly open up Swamp Palace right now. Although you don't have the small keys, you still need that before you can actually get beyond the first chest.
And a life lesson.
But you know, that life lesson is worth it if you're going to pick up a mirror here on the ledge.
Definitely. You're here anyway, so might as well check Zora.
And certainly, it looks like everyone's using the powder glitch to get the magic bat. Both Ecos and Buane have done it at this point.
The good thing is, it's not like our runners are short on rupees.
Certainly not. The money has certainly been available in this seed. Skullwood's also just having a lot of money and not a lot of progression. Buane getting that small key, which is a small key to Thieves Town. And it looks like Runner Watcher is going to take an early coffee break and check the basement of Hera. But instead, choosing to forego the coffee break and just throw pots at the tiles.
I mean, he does have the cape, so he can take an effortless coffee break without even having to do it precisely.
He wants to keep those reflexes up. It's still too early in the race. And while we've been talking, Buane headed into Escape, and he got his Master Sword. So, as I've been saying for a while, somebody should probably head up to Agate Tower, and most likely it could be Buane at this point.
But they've already had cape. They could have done Agate Tower 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. And we got powder in the Hera basement. I mean, I will never turn away powder if it means I can get the fairies, because I'm not really that good at this game at all.
I'm with you on that one.
And it looks like Runner Watcher is going to head into Dark Death Mountain. Buane doing a death warp to get back to the sewers of Escape. But he is going to go ahead and check Agate Tower first, and it's Ether on Turtle Rock. Alright. Let's see what we got here. A map to Turtle Rock. Useless, because we know it's a 5/6 crystal. Swagnet and Literacy in Super Bunny Cave. So that will at least get us into Desert. And just 20 bucks. So Agate Tower was a bust. We got a useless pod map, a useful pod key, and a useless GT small key in the Hookshot Cave. And with that mirror, I imagine Runner Watcher is about to go see what that big key is.
We can't be sure about pod yet.
I mean, realistically, the runners really don't have much elsewhere to go at this point.
True.
I mean, unless this is like the desert key here or something.
Yes, it is.
Hey, how about the desert key? So I would certainly expect Runner Watcher to head to desert, especially because it is a crystal. Although he doesn't have the desert small key. I know Ecos and Yume picked that up, but I don't remember where it was. We're gonna get an ether check here from Runner Watcher. And it's a small key to Meyer. So probably won't be picking that up anytime soon. Certainly looks like Runner Watcher is gonna make a gamble on Spike Cave. With not many hearts and no full magic, this could be close.
This high risk operation will lead his.
But looks like he's gonna get it no problem. And the big key to Eastern, so that paid off nicely.
That definitely paid off.
Ooh, and Eco's taking a death on his way to Catfish. Should be noted that one of the pod small keys was on the pyramid ledge. And it looks like Runner Watcher is going to make his way to desert. Or not. Go back to the Dark World. He can do that too. I can't get them all right.
We still don't know what's in Eastern or desert.
No,
oh wait, desert to crystal.
Yeah, it looks like desert is a crystal. We don't know what Eastern is though.
Well, we can't finish Eastern either.
No, but you could at least... I mean, right now you'd be able to check the big chest, but I don't know if you go back into Eastern just to check that one chest just yet. Especially because I think the way the logic works, you would either have to have the desert... You'd either have to have the desert big key... Oh, no, not the desert big key. What was I saying? You either have to have half magic or a bottle. So right now, that Eastern big key, I don't think would be in the logic.
Isn't the logic that you have to be able to access it without getting damaged at all?
Yeah, which is why you would need half magic or a bottle. Because I don't think there's enough magic with either the cape or the Brian cane to be able to do it in one fill. You have to refill it somehow or have half magic.
Well, once you take off the cape, you would take damage.
Okay, so yeah, it would have to be half magic then.
Because if you take out the bottle, you're not using the Brian cane for a minimum of 1 frame.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so according to Daniel Oberon, it's the cane or cape and half magic or a bottle. So, and actually, now that I remember it, I mean, Runner Watcher had plenty of magic. He probably could have. I guess he could have been able to do it with the cane altogether. Which would make sense, because in the vanilla game, that's where you get the cane of Brian. So they would expect that, hey, use this. You won't get hurt walking out.
But in the vanilla game, you run out of magicka on the way there.
So Runner Watcher is heading into escape, gets his Master Sword. While we're doing a bit of retreading here, let's give a shout out to our trackers, Dragon Strike 1988 and Kippy. They're doing a great job keeping track of all these items, and of course to our restreamer Snack. Sorry, my apologies. It is apparently Sinac, not Snack. Sorry, bud. All right. All right. I gotta imagine at some point someone's gonna have to make a play on desert. If I remember, if I can remember where that desert small key is, I mean that would give Runner Watcher everything to get there. But instead, Runner Watcher is going to make the play for Pod. He's got 3 keys, but doesn't have the bow, so he's going to have to burn one on the front door. And as I mentioned earlier, I lost to both Runner Watcher and Ecos in this tournament, and I know both of them can hammer him. All right, go ahead.
So Runner Watcher is making the play on pod.
Yep, he paid off Kiki the extortionist, or looks like he's gonna do Eastern first. Oh, that's right. He never went to Eastern. I think that's gotta be where the desert key was. And we got another map check. It looks like Skullwoods is the crystal. So between Eastern, Hera, and Ice, one of those three is the last crystal.
Well, we still don't have a bow.
Yep. Runner Watcher gonna get that GT big key. And he can check that big chest because he did get the Eastern key from the Spike Cave, which Ecos is about to pick up here. All right, let's see what that big key chest has for us. Looks like it's the ice rod. So with Turtle Rock being a crystal, that is certainly going to be needed.
It's hard to tell which dungeon does this seed want us to finish first.
Well, and we also just found out, we got the final confirmation that Eastern is the last crystal, so that means Hera and Ice are the other pendant dungeons. And with getting the big key and the small key, Ecos is going to be the first one to head into Desert. And there's the Desert small key for Runner Watcher.
Well, they can't fully clear desert yet.
We also got Ether on the Desert Ledge, so that will also get us into Turtle Rock, but we can't full clear it just yet. And we got Fire Rod! Fire Rod in Desert! So if nothing else, getting that Fire Rod certainly makes... The Fire Rod and the Crystal will certainly make Desert worth it. Looks like nothing so far in Pod. But there's 14 items in there, so there's certainly going to be something there. Big key to Skullwoods in Desert. Which, with that Fire Rod, you can now go finish Skullwoods, so... Desert is certainly pointing you there. Buane leaving before even seeing that it was Compass on Catfish. And we got the big key to Meyer, so man, Desert having the value. You may end heading into Desert as well. And for chivalry! Eco's peeking up that ether.
He's gonna go to finish the dungeon.
Yep, and we got Runner Watcher setting up that hammer yump. Oh, but just missed it.
Just a big 20.
Daniel's asking about Mushroom. I don't think anyone's turned that in yet. And looking like nothing much in pot other than the shovel. Meanwhile, Eco's gonna make his way into the Lammeless Gyro house. And Yume's also in Lammeless right now, using the fire rod to take those snakes out. And we got tempered on Lammeless and the first crystal.
I'm sure he's happy to see that tempered sword.
Especially because he's the only one that died before getting to Ice Rod K to get the silver arrows. So, I mean, if he never checks it, he's at least gonna have tempered for the Ganon fight.
A Ganon fight where not every blow has to be a spin is always helpful.
Mm-hmm. And Yume's also picking up that crystal from Lammeless as well as a temper sword. Unfortunately, Runner Watcher heading to Skullwoods. Desert was certainly the play, though. Runner Watcher will have to double dip this because he doesn't have the fire rod to finish it. I imagine Ecos is going to be right behind him, but since he has the fire rod and the big key, he'll be able to finish out Skullwoods real easily. So this has been slow developing, but I'm putting everything together. We're starting to get some movement. You definitely have to go to Desert. You definitely have to go. You definitely have to go to Skullwood. You go to Skullwoods now, and if you go to Eastern and get the Ice Rod, right now, without the Turtle Rock Big Key, you can't full clear Turtle Rock. But the logic certainly is pointing you there.
But remember, couldn't finish Skullwoods without Eastern, and couldn't finish Eastern without Spike Cave.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right, because it's on the Ice Rod's on the big chest, and you got the big key from Spike Cave. And Yume's making a play on Ice Palace, which is interesting because Yume, he doesn't know that doesn't have all the information, so he may not know that this is a pendant dungeon. And Buane executing the hammer yump perfectly. Yume taking care of both those Staphoses for one bomb. Very nice there. Got a lot of bomb jumps going on here right now. As I was saying earlier, I was hoping we could see some good performance from these runners, and they are certainly not disappointing at all. Be sure to give them all a follow on Twitch. Ooh, but Yume taking a death in ice. Press F to pay respects.
Who knew that hitting yourself with bombs that many times could kill you?
Yeah. Certainly looks like Kikos is heading into the back of Skull Woods. Alright, we got Blue Mail. It looks like Runner Watcher is going to turn in the lunchbox. I don't remember if anyone's done that just yet. I don't seem to recall it, but he's also going to turn in that shovel while he's doing that walk. Alright. For chivalry, strike the earth, and just a little bit of love. You may have a lot of problems with ice, and it's just gonna nope on out of there. Buane picking up that ice rod in Eastern. Then we got Red Meringue on the Grove Ledge. Alright, and Iko's making his way into Mafula's House of Kebab, where we skewer you instead of the meat. And nice work on that and taking out Mafula for the second crystal. And getting some Mountain Dew Code Red from Mafula.
So it would seem like the good play would actually be the dip on Turtle Rock.
Ooh, we're getting a pedestal check in here. Get your hype in chat.
Pedestal hype.
And it's a male upgrade.
Looks like we're not getting a pedestal pull this seed. Thanks for playing. And we'll be back with the Showcase Showdown.
Right after we see Runner Watcher head into Swamp and finally get that fire on those big keys.
Runner Watcher is in desert.
Someone asking about Swamp. Right now we have all the items, but we don't have the small key to get into Swamp, so you can really only check the first chest.
Vanilla small key.
That would certainly be trolly. But Ecos is gonna turn that bottle into Sick Kid. And the flute! Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats. It's time once again for the playing of the national Swag Deck Anthem. And that goose is loose!
You may now be seated.
Alright, well that certainly opens up, that would certainly open up Mire. You can at least get to the Mire shed, and if Ether is what gets you into Mire, you'd be able to get in there. And you have the big key, so you could full clear it. And Buane gonna be making his play into desert now. You may make his way into the Mafia House of Kebab. While Runner Watcher heads in the Lamellus. And Runner Watcher making quick work with the fire rod on Lamellus right as Yume takes down Mafia.
I'm sure Yume would rather have used the fire rod once or twice than that.
But good execution on taking Mafia down with the Master Sword.
Yume has Tempered Sword.
Well, you get Tempered. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Oops. There's so many things in this you have to remember. It's hard to keep track.
Definitely.
That's why we have those trackers keeping track of all the items for us, even when I'm blind and can't see what's right in front of me.
Gotta give those guys a hand.
Yume realizing the pedestal dream is dead. And I'd assume Runner Watcher at this point is making his way over to Skullwoods. I'd have to imagine at this point with the flute, Ecos would probably be going into Mire at some point. You can't get into Ice, but Ice is a pendant. You could get into Eternal Rock. Can't get far though.
I feel like he doesn't want to risk it if he doesn't have the required medallion for Meyer.
True. But with not having an optimal play right now, I'd almost want to go there and at least check it. Because if with having the 1, if it's ether, you can get in. There isn't really an optimal play right now to be had.
But we could do a T-Rock dive.
Again, yeah, but you only have 2 small keys and you don't have the big key. So again, like that's not really an optimal play.
Oh yeah, because Ecos only has 2. Our other runners, Runner Watcher and Buane, have 3.
Right, but the thing is, even with having 3, you can only get to the big chest in Mimic Cave. The big key blocks you out from using the other 2. Buane finishing off Desert and getting his first crystal. Runner Watcher is in the back of Skull Woods and going to most likely pick up his second crystal here. And down goes Mothula for Runner Watcher. So, I would say at this point, with most of the runners basically going over things we've already seen, I think it's really going to come down to which gamble pays off. Because once Buane finishes Skullwoods, everyone's going to be at 2 crystals, and it's just a matter of which suboptimal play is the one that has the progression. And it looks like Ecos is finally heading to Ice Rod Cave and gonna get those silver arrows. And Runner Watcher gonna be heading into Ice Palace. Here's that gamble I was talking about. Buane making his way into Mothula, and Ecos is right behind Runner Watcher and heading into Ice Palace. And Yume gonna take his second dip into ice. with some more hearts and blue mail, you have to think he'd be able to get further in this time.
And we know we will not be seeing red mail this seed.
Yep, because the red mail's on the pedestal. Interesting thing to see here. Nope, he's gonna... For a minute, I thought Runner Watcher was switching off and not gonna do the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, but he still is. And does it on the first go. Edmund pointing out that Yume forgot Sick Kid. Actually, all of the runners except for Ecos have forgotten Sick Kid. He's the only one that's got the flute right now. We got a useless Meyer small key. And got another bottle of Code Red. And Buane picking up that flute right there.
In a race, you always think your opponent is somewhat ahead of you, despite how well you're doing.
Yeah, this is a very tight race right now.
Buane probably thinks Yuma picked up that flute 15 minutes ago.
But with Randomizer, even if you think you're behind, you can get ahead in a hurry. Buane gonna be making that check on Meyer. He didn't get far enough. I missed what the medallion was.
So did I.
But there is Quake in the Meyer shed. And our tracker Kippy pointing out that Quake was in fact the medallion to get into Meyer, so you had to go get the Quake medallion in the Meyer shed.
Looks like a blind dip to Meyer was the play.
Mm-hmm. It certainly was convenient. And Runner Watcher making his way into the Cold Stare Creamery, although it looks like he's missing... He didn't get everything. He's missing one check. Edmund's saying we picked up the bow. I didn't see any of the runners pick it up.
Who has the bow?
Oh, there it is. There's the D.
Yes.
And that was the chest that Runner Watcher missed, but looks like he's heading back in to get that. He's going to be really thankful to get that. So, in fact, ice did pay off. I've got a useless small key to Hyrule Castle in Mire. Alright, so while Ecos and Yume head into the Cold Stare Creamery and Buane gonna do the long cutscene, chat's asking for a go mode check. We are needing the Thieves Town big key and the Turtle Rock big key, and that looks like that is all we need for go mode at this point. Just those two big keys. So even though this has been a slow developing seed, we're not very much far off from go mode at this point. Oh, Tiltmaster making this point, we also need the Swamp Small Key. Ecos making good work of Cold Stare getting that pendant. And Runner Watcher finally getting that bow. So even though I forgot to do that, he's pretty much right now neck and neck with Ecos. Yume also finishing off Cold Stare. Ecos making his way to Mire. And there's the big key to Thieves Town and Mire. So we just need the Turtle Rock big key and the Swamp Palace small key at this point. Right. Chat reminding us that Yume and Runner Watcher do not have the flutes as opposed to Buane and Ecos that do. The flute is on Sick Kid. We're finally getting that mushroom turned in. It looks like Yume is going to make the Pod Eastern double dip, I'd imagine.
Just some bombs.
Title Master also pointing out that Ecos does not have the ice rod, but we know it's on the Eastern big key chest. And with having the bow and the key, Ecos is at some point going to be heading there. Meanwhile, Buane heading into Vitreous's diner and drive-thru. He's got to be careful with his health, though. Oh, and Buane takes a death. Press F to pay respects. All right, Buane making his way back down to Vitreous. Yume gonna be checking the bow lock portion of pod. All right, we got a useless small key to Skullwoods. And just a little bit of love.
So far, nothing of value.
Nope. Pretty much, from what I remember from runnerwatcher going in here, there was really only the shovel, and that did not pay off. Because that was just a little bit of love also, from what I remember.
Yep, there was nothing of value at the shovel spot either.
Yep, speaking of which, runnerwatcher is heading into Eastern, and I imagine he's going to be finishing that off and getting the crystal here. Buane gonna make his second trip into the Vitreous Diner and drive-thru. He's got the cape. He could use the cape to avoid damage right now. But he gets through phase 1 and now gonna play volleyball with the big eye.
And takes out hookshot for some reason.
He's the only one that hasn't gone to ice, so he hasn't found the bow yet. But takes down Vitreous, and there's the big key to Turtle Rock.
Is Buane gonna do that TR dip?
He certainly could. Looks like he has the requisite keys. And runnerwatcher heading into Armos, 6 guys, burger and fries. Gonna make quick work of these Armos Knights with the silver arrows. And another useless small key to Skullwoods.
It looks like he's going into Thieves Town.
Well, they have the Thieves Town big key, so that's certainly, I mean, he can full clear it, and it's crystal, so you're gonna have to get in there. I mean, the question with that race is the question with the race between Buane and YumeTsubasaCH is how long is Buane gonna hold off ice? Because you have to go to ice to get the bow. And Yume gonna nope on out of pod. However, it looks like runnerwatcher is heading up to Death Mountain. I gotta imagine this has gotta be for Turtle Rock. But getting dead rocked.
Buane keeps dropping rage bombs.
I think Yume is doing the graveyard ledge. We got a little bit of love in the Thieves Town big chest. And it looks like Runner Watcher is going to head into Turtle Rock.
But Runner Watcher is not the one who should be making that play now. It's Buane who should be making that play.
Well, I mean, Runner Watcher has everything to clear everything except the vanilla big key chest. And speaking of Buane heading into Blind's Bistro. Blind making his usual pun. And there's the Swamp House small key in Turtle Rock. Alright, so we are in no mode. But no one's officially in go mode because they don't have everything just yet.
And Blind having the 4th TR key.
Chat reminding me, the point you were trying to make, Yona Man, was that I forgot that Runner Watcher also doesn't have the big key to Turtle Rock. Which is on Vitreous, as Ecos just picked up and finishing off Vitreous. And it looks like Buane is, in fact, going to head to Turtle Rock.
No reason not to. He can fully clear it.
Yep. The one thing is, at some point, he has to go to Ice to get the bow. That is the one advantage that Yume has over Buane at this point. Yume getting the flute. Chat pointing out he apparently bombed Sick Kid because he forgot to go get that, turn in that bottle. Which is the thing that's holding Runner Watcher from going to Meyer. He has not checked Sick Kid yet. Alright, Ecos heading into Thieves Town. Ooh, looks like Buane missed the opening at Turtle Rock. Gets it the second time. Yeah, Big Dunka, you're right. I mean, that is, with now Buane picking up that small Swamp Palace key, I mean, the bow is all he needs, and he's in go mode at this point. And with it being an Ice Palace, it's gonna be a while until he realizes he's gotta go to Ice to get that bow.
He's probably gonna run through swamp before he goes to Ice Palace.
And chat also pointing out that Turtle Rock and Swamp being the 5/6 crystals, he'd probably also do Fat Fairy also.
Very good point.
Now, the one thing with Yume is Yume's still gotta get Ice Rod from Eastern before doing Turtle Rock. And Yume was at Pod and did everything, but forgot to go back to Eastern and finish it off there. So he'll have to take some time getting back there. We have Runner Watcher in Swamp after finishing all he could do into Turtle Rock. Because he doesn't have the big key from Meyer. Runner Watcher needs to go to Sick Kid and get that flute. Ecos making his way into Blind's Bistro. And with having all 4 Turtle Rock keys, Buane's gonna open the vanilla big key chest. No reason not to. And down goes Blind.
I think it's still sort of early to make any calls on this race.
Yeah, it's... There are advantages and disadvantages with the runners at this point, and it's just... we gotta wait and see how this thing unfolds. We should remind everybody that this is, in fact, 2 different races. We have Ecos and Runner Watcher running against each other, and we have Buane and YumeTsubasaCH running against each other, and all of these are 2-in-1 races, so they're fighting for their playoff lives, because if they can get to 4-1, they'll be in the playoff to get the last spot into the playoff bracket. So this is do or die for these runners.
Whether or not they win or lose this race, they will still be playing for the rest of the Swiss round.
Mm-hmm. We got Bombos in Swamp.
Nothing in the big chest.
Nope. Ecos finally heading into Pod, but gonna do Eastern first.
Runner Watcher almost forgetting the key.
But remembering not to flood it. All right, and with that Ice Rod pickup at 1 hour and 31 minutes, Ecos is officially in go mode. Oh, wait, did he get the Swamp Palace small key?
Doesn't seem
Oh,
like it.
okay, it's in T-Rock, so Schrodinger's go mode, I guess, because he will certainly be going to T-Rock at some point, and I can't imagine he'd miss that first chest. Ooh, and Buane taking a death in Turtle Rock.
That gives Yume some time to catch up.
Ecos in Armo 6 Guys Burger and Fries. Yume taking care of Vitreous in his diner and drive-thru. And it's now 5 crystals for Ecos and 4 crystals for Yume. And yeah, Eco's not even gonna bother with going into pod. He's going straight for Turtle Rock. Yeah, Big Dunka is... Big Dunka. Sorry, Big Dunka, you're in chat. Buane, on the other hand, looks like he's been, just taking a lot of deaths in this race. We got Riot Shield in Swamp. And Runner Watcher heading into Argus's Tavern and Crab Shack.
And as long as Ecos doesn't make any mistakes, Ecos will shortly be in go mode.
Yep, and Buane heading into Stony King's Grill and Chill. Runner Watcher has got to get to Sick Kid and get that flute. And down goes Trinex.
It's go mode time.
That is officially go mode at 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 46 seconds. Alright, so... And yes, Runner Watcher is finally gonna check Sick Kid and get that flute.
Is Runner Watcher gonna bomb the Sick Kid?
Nope, he's just gonna go unstuck the duck. And predictably, Buane is heading into Swamp Palace. He has got to get to Ice Palace and get that bow.
Well, he's not gonna find it yet.
Nope. I mean, I'm certainly, as much as everyone says, until you get to the gauntlet, you can't really call a lead. I mean, I would certainly say Ecos has a lead over runnerwatcher at this point. And at this point with Buane, it just is a matter of if he goes to ice. Because Yume has everything to basically follow the breadcrumbs to finish everything off. Buane has got to get to ice and get that bow. And Yume heading into Blyden's Bistro as we speak.
Well, all Runner Watcher needs is that Turtle Rock Big Key. And it's interesting to note that we may have a bootsless seed.
It is certainly possible.
It's very likely.
I mean, we've checked all the dungeons, and with everyone having the GT Big Key, no one's gonna check the basement. So yeah, these boots are probably not gonna be found.
I mean, there's still one place that's gonna be checked, and it's this. If they're not on Trinex, we're probably never gonna see him.
Nah, Buane had finished off Trinex earlier, so I know there wasn't anything there. Yeah, it was just a upgrade. Actually, Big Dunka bringing up a point that Yume doesn't have the Eastern Big Key, but it's here in Spike Cave, so if he didn't have it, he's gonna get it now.
And he's got it.
Yep, but Chad also pointing out he's gotta get to Eastern first to get the Ice Rod before going into Turtle Rock.
He also needs that Swamp Smokey from Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. But looks like that's where Yume is headed right now. Buane heading into Argus's Tavern and Crab Shack. All right, down goes Argus. Okay, so for those of you that are may have just joined us, Ecos is in go mode at this point. He's just got to finish Swamp Palace and he's done. Buane has got to get the bow in Ice Palace, which YumeTsubasa has, and that's really the difference right now. And chat pointing out, Buane did not do left side of Swamp, and he's heading back in. He's not going to find anything there.
Hey, we were expecting this.
Yep. It's like, at some point, Buane has got to go to Ice Palace.
Oh, the rage bombs are going to be so funny when he finds that bow.
And there's the Ice Rod for YumeTsubasa. We're not going to call Yeah, I'm not gonna make the call yet on go mode, but effectively Yume will be in go mode once he gets to Turtle Rock and gets the first chest. And Big Duncan bringing up a good point that we always should be cautious to remember. With the runners not knowing what we know at this point, it's the wrong play because we know where it is, but it isn't a bad play. He's dealing with the information that he's got at this point.
Yeah, of course. Being a runner and being in no mode are two totally different things.
Exactly. All right, Yume gonna pick up some arrows and head into Armos 6 Guys Burger and Fries. Making quick work of those Armos nights. The one thing to note, if Yume heads to Turtle Rock immediately and getting that Swamp House small key, Yume still has 2 dungeons he has to complete, whereas Buane just has Eastern. Actually, just Eastern. So if Buane still has a conceivable lead at this, or not a conceivable lead, but a conceivable, he's not like too far behind.
And if I'm not mistaken, Runner Watcher just entered go mode.
Yes, he certainly did. And with that kill on Argus, Ecos will now be heading to the Gauntlet. Because that is Ecos' 7th crystal.
And so there are 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's tower, and we're already in go mode, so we're not going to see any of them. Thank you, come again.
No, Yume has not cleared Swamp Palace, because this Swamp Palace small key is going to be right here in Turtle Rock. And what are those?
I guess we will see the boots.
Which I imagine that means Buane's going to now check flank Shuari, and it's just going to take him further away from Ice Palace. Alright, now at 1 hour and 45 minutes, YumeTsubara is officially in go mode at this point.
So now our only runner who is not in go mode is Buane, who is still looking for that bow.
Yep. Yep, and Yume knows he's in go mode. He didn't even bother with the chain chomps. He's go moding this dungeon. Alright.
Well, he's got blue mail, tempered sword, and silver, so I don't think he cares.
Alright, here we go. Here we go. Buane's finally going to ice. For those asking about if Runner Watcher is in go mode, he's not. He's effective. I would say he's effectively in go mode, because once he gets to Mire, that's where the Turtle Rock big key is going to be. All right. So as Ecos heads into the gauntlet, he officially has a lead over runnerwatcher. The interesting thing to watch now here on the bottom of your screen is Buane.
Didn't runnerwatcher just kill Vitreous?
Oh yeah, he had to.
Yeah, runnerwatcher's in go mode.
Yep, he's got the Turtle Rock Big Key. He is in go mode. Alright, so Buane will be getting this bow here in Ice Palace. Once he does that, he just has to finish Eastern Palace and he is on his way to the gauntlet. Yume has to just go mode Turtle Rock and Swamp, so this bottom race is going to be getting pretty close here. runnerwatcher, meanwhile, is in Blind's Bistro. Yume into Stony King's Grill and Chill. And down goes Trinex for Yume. Eco's picking up that safety with the powder. Alright, Yume is done with Turtle Rock. Just gotta go to Swamp and go mode it.
Ecos also filled up both of his bottles earlier as another safety.
Mm-hmm. And as we speak that, Buane gets the second bottle of Code Red.
That was an interesting little graphical error.
What was that? I didn't see it.
One of the Landmo heads just appeared on the bottom left of the screen where a Landmo didn't spawn.
Wow. Alright, here we go. This next room is where the bow is. And Buane's got it, and he knows it. He's noping on out of there at 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 41 seconds. Buane is in go mode. He's just got to get to Eastern and beat Armos. All right. Let's take one more moment while everyone's doing different tracks here. Let's give another shout out to our trackers Kippy and Dragon Strike 1988, as well as Sinak, our restreamer. Be sure to give all of these fine people a follow on Twitch or making this show possible for you.
None of this could be done without all these people behind the scenes.
As well as giving a follow to my fellow co-commentator Yoniman, as well as myself, Jex Refi. Alright, here we go. Chat pointing out the boots are probably going to make a difference for Buane. This is certainly going to be tense. All right, Ecos into Troll Org 2. Oh, and Ecos getting trolled.
Troll Dorm count 1.
And down goes Troll Dorm 2.
And opening the last chest just to see what's in it.
All right. Buane making quick work of Armo's 6 Guys Burger and Fries, and with that, that's his 7th crystal, and he's going to be on his way to the gauntlet. And as we speak, Ecos is heading into Aga 2. Ooh. Alright, Yume is in Argus, Runner Watcher finishing off Trinex. And down goes Aga 2. Alright, it is time for the big pig for Ecos.
The big pig must die!
Alright, and with that kill on Argus, all 4 of our runners have all 7 crystals and are into the gauntlet. Ecos is ahead because he's already beaten it. Ecos has got to be careful. He is into phase 3. Drinking the blue safety.
Good old Baja Blast.
Absolutely. Alright, phase 4 for Ecos. That's 1. Missing the torch glitch. 2 and 3. And we have bacon!
Down goes the big pig.
And once Ecos gets in the door, we will give you the official SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 17 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat. All right, meanwhile, this second race is boots are certainly making the difference. Buane is into level 4 of the gauntlet, and Yume has just starting. Buane has a lead, but one false move and he can give it right back to YumeTsubasaCH.
All we really need is 1 Troll Dorm fall.
And joining us in chat is Ecos. GG on your win, sir.
Oh man, that was a fun seed.
Yes. And unbeknownst to you, we are actually in an action-packed portion right now because Buane and YumeTsubasaCH are both in the gauntlet right now, and right now the difference is going to be the boots for Buane.
Oh, where were the boots?
Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you, Runner Watcher, and Yume all went to ice relatively at the same time, and Buane was the only one who didn't. And so he missed the bow for the longest time.
Oh no. So where's you don't mind me asking, where is Runner Watcher right now?
He's in the gauntlet right now.
Oh, okay.
His problem was he did not go turn in Sick Kid and get the flute.
Ah, okay.
So what ended up happening was he tried to do Turtle Rock without the big key that you get in Mire, and so he double dipped Turtle Rock when he didn't need to.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't to double dip Turtle Rock or even step foot into Palace of Darkness this time around.
Yeah, I mean that Pod for once was actually useless.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. This is really. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you how you feeling about that race, which is you were exactly about to start telling us.
That race, I was a little shaky early on. My nerves were really getting to me. I had a couple early deaths, like going over to the Ice Rod Cave and then going up to, I was making a trip up to Catfish and took a death. And at that point I was a little shaky, but, you know, from there on out, I was like, well, there's other places I can go. Let me just go and do those things. And it seemed like everything just kind of strung along just nicely for the most part in the seed.
Yes, certainly. I mean, I was saying early on that you essentially had 3 suboptimal plays. It was go to Mire without the medallion, go to Ice even though it was a pendant, or go to Turtle Rock when you didn't have the big key. And it turned out it was Ice and Mire were the 2 because Quake was right there.
Yeah, I was considering, or I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go into Mire first, and I was like, well, I'm over here, I just got Quake, let's just knock it out. And then I had a massive brain fart in Mire. I got like all the way done and was getting ready to go to Vitreous and got turned around, and I just could not for the life of me, like, I had a block, like I could not remember where to go. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go around the long way. Like, I don't know what it was. I mean, I know the right way to go. It's just at that point in time, it was, you know, this just massive like block in my brain that just wouldn't let me figure it out. So I went around the long way. But
All right, so real quick, Runner Watcher and Buane are both into the Ganon fight at this point.
Oh boy.
Buane is in phase 3. Runner Watcher will be in phase 3 here momentarily. Yume is still has to do Trolldorm 2, so Buane has a considerable lead at this point.
Yeah, wow.
Still, 1 fall to Ganon, and we could go right back to where we started.
Yeah. Alright, but he's got 1. He missed the torch glitch. Two and a triple silver arrows. That is game.
And we'll get the time for you guys in a second.
It seems like this was a pretty close race all around, considering, you know, what you guys were saying. You know, 2
And
runners
Buane
in,
has finished with the official SRL time of 2 hours, 0 minutes, and 42 seconds.
Yes, you are right, Ecos. This was a pretty close race.
Well, I'm glad, if nothing else, that it was a really close, really interesting race.
Runner Watcher with a time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 1 second.
And Yume is into Aga 2. Runner Watcher is declining an interview. We'll see if we can get Buane in here.
everyone finishing at around the same time.
And down goes Agatu. However, runner watching, acknowledging in the IRC channel that the flute did in fact do him in this race.
That flute. Sick kid with the flute.
Yeah, because once we hopefully get Buane and Yume in here, I'll tell you how close it actually was for that race.
Okay. But
with
you
your
know,
race, oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm just surprised that that I actually beat Runner Watcher. Runner Watcher's really, really good at Link to the Past. Is a very solid, even NMG time as well. I was really, really nervous coming into this. So
I mean, it simply was the flute. I mean, like I kind of mentioned earlier, you basically had 3 choices, and he decided to do Turtle Rock instead of. He decided to do Turtle Rock after Ice instead of going to Mire, and that's because he didn't have the flute, and that's what did him in.
yeah.
And we have Buane joining us in chat. GG.
GG. Thank you very much.
So, Buane, I have a question for you. How'd you feel about that Ice Palace?
It's funny. I almost went in Ice Palace before T-Rock, so after Mire. But that death to Vitreous tilted me so hard, I decided to not do anything strange from that point. So yeah, one of the last possible places. But usually you have to go into all the dungeons in a Keysanity seed, so the only reason I was putting it off was out of hope, more so than I didn't think anything would be in there.
So here's how close the race was. You did not go to Ice, whereas Ecos, Runner Watcher, and Yume all went into Ice relatively at the same time and got the bow. So that was the thing that was holding you back in terms of your race. Yume forgot for a while to go to Sick Kid and get the flute. So what ended up happening was you had more dungeons completed, but he was slowly catching up to you because he had the flute and could follow the chain of Mire to Thieves Town to Turtle Rock. And as you were picking up the bow in Ice, he was in Turtle Rock and going into Turtle Rock and basically just had to finish it from there. But because you found the boots in Fat Fairy, that's what made the difference.
Yeah, those were where were those? At the beginning of the seed is when you like to find those. This was a slow slog around an overworld that had no items at all in the overworld. So that was a little rough. If I put Desert off for a long time, so I didn't get the Fire Rod. I basically had the overworld full cleared before then. But I'm actually surprised everybody else was in Ice before me. I thought that Bo was going to be a trolley item when Ecos finished. I figured, okay, he did Ice early and he got to go mode some dungeons, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised I was the only one. That's usually I'm the one making the gambles.
I pretty much got to go mode both Swamp Palace and, for the most part, Turtle Rock, because the Swamp Palace small key was my go mode item.
Oh, that's the dream right there.
Yep. We should note at this point that Yume has forfeited. He will be joining us in chat here in just a minute. But yeah, it was. I mean, your race with Yume was certainly like we were on the edge of our seats, wondering like was the difference gonna, once you got the bow, the boots just kind of allowed you to pull ahead slightly.
Yeah, boots are nice comfort item to have in Ganon's tower, just because you're usually not very used to doing the tower without the boots. So not only are they faster to have the boots, but you're out of your comfort zone for a lot of those rooms. Gauntlet in particular can be a little annoying, some of those rooms without boots. So it was nice to find. I was a little surprised. I was a little disappointed when they didn't lead to anything except hearts. And I said, all right, I've been putting it off. I guess it's going to be an ice. That was the only place. I think there was one chest left that I could get in pod, but other than that, it had to be an ice. I had no locations left.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. So, I mean, but yeah, you're right earlier about the fact that Overworld really didn't have anything. It wasn't until you guys got to Dark World before the seeds started to open up on you.
I was hoping that putting off Eastern from the beginning, and I guess where was the Eastern Palace Big Key? Was that the one that was in Spike Cave? Eastern Palace
Yes.
Big Key? So since I had done Spike Cave first, and then when I did Eastern, obviously it was without the bow, but I got the ice rod out of the big chest. And if everyone else hadn't gone to ice and got the bow, I guess that would have been an advantage, since if anybody had dove Eastern prior to getting the big key, they probably weren't going back till they had the bow, which I thought would be go mode for most everybody. So I guess that was kind of nullified by the fact that everybody had the bow pretty early.
Right. I mean, the thing was, I'm trying to remember the exact sequence. There was a while where Yume did not go to Spike Cave, and there was a point where we were like, why didn't he went to Pod, and we were like, he can stack Eastern, and didn't, and it was because, oh, we forgot he hadn't gone to Spike Cave just yet.
Yeah, that's a rough location. There were a couple out of the way items. That flute, you usually are not seeing a seed with no bottles for that long, and then having a major progression item to be on Sick Kid. I guess maybe it's a little bit of a hint that, hey, we haven't found any bottles except for that one that's on the Aggle Edge, and nobody's gonna get that. I almost didn't go and check it right away because it's kind of a long walk after you kill Mothula. But because we hadn't gotten a bottle anywhere, and it's not like I left a bottle sitting on Hylia Island or something like that, I made the long walk. That paid off. That felt good because I kind of felt a little behind that it took me so long to get into desert and get that fire rod. That's when the seed really started to move. So I felt behind. It was good to see that flute because I figured that wouldn't be an immediate check for everyone else.
Right. And we have YumeTsubasaCH joining us in chat. GG.
Man, GG's.
How you feeling, man?
Everything that comes to mind is not appropriate for this channel.
Fair point.
Honestly, when I didn't see a dot done at 140, I was like, what the heck is Buane doing? What is he doing? Because I had all the stuff, I saw all the stuff. I was like, how? Because I failed like everything I could.
Do you want to know what happened?
I think debated by the flute.
Yeah. So here's how close it was, though, because Buane was the only one that did not go into ice when you, Ecos, and runnerwatcher went into ice and got the bow. So even though you were late to get the flute, Buane could never go into Eastern and finish it off because he didn't have the bow. So right when you were getting the small key in the small key to Swamp and Turtle Rock was the point where Buane finally went into ice and got the bow.
Damn.
It was certainly a close race because basically, he was about 3 levels of the gauntlet ahead of you. So like one false move and you could have been right in it.
Well, doesn't feel any better now, honestly. I just play bad. bad. There is nothing else to say. I would have not deserved to win this anyways, so...
Mhm. Believe me, I feel you there. I actually raced Ecos in my last race, and it didn't feel good when I was like, I kept dying to Blight, and they were like, well, actually, you were pretty close. Like, I can feel you. It's not good to hear that. Any thought? Any thoughts on the seed overall?
Well, technically, if you know what you're doing in this game, a sub 2 is free in this seed, in my opinion. Seriously, this was so easy except for the bow that was in ice.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the name of the game when you find stuff.
Anything can be anywhere. You can't really think about anything that won't be somewhere as long as it's not locked.
Mm-hmm. Well, any of our runners have any final thoughts?
Just thanks to for the restream, comms, trackers. Way to go, you guys made this happen. And this was a rough day. There's a lot of rando going on, so we I think we were stretched pretty thin with volunteers. So way to go, everybody who made this stream happen.
Yeah, thank you for everybody here, as well as our restreamer Synac. Thank you for bringing this race to the ALTTP Randomizer channel, and it was a really fun seed to play, and can't wait till next week.
Yes, Buane and Ecos, with you guys being 3-1, you guys are still alive in this tournament.
One step closer to that insane tiebreaker. That would be fun. I don't know if you can go into that expecting anything but craziness, but one more round to go.
And
How many people are in that tiebreaker?
Probably going to be around 30 people.
It's at least 30, I think.
Wow.
So 30 go in, 1 go out.
That's going to be nuts. All right. So, and Blaine, to your point about the number of races we have today, we still have 17 tomorrow.
Plenty of Keysanity to go around.
Exactly.
If you haven't had enough yet, check out one of the 10 races that's going on right now.
Yes. All right, so, we definitely want to make sure we give some love to the stars of this show, which are our runners, Ecos, runnerwatcher, Buane, and YumeTsubasaCH. Please give all of them a follow on Twitch, as well as our restreamer Synac, our trackers Dragon Strike 1988 and Kippy00, as well as both my co-commentator Yoniman and myself, Jex Refi. Yoniman, you have any final thoughts?
Nothing really.
All right. Well, with that, we want to say thank you to everyone who watched tonight and have a good evening.
Have a good night, everybody.